citizens of the Cyber Nation.
Welcome to another episode of EPIXENTER. This is episode number 203, I believe, and we are lovingly calling it After Hours.
Yeah.
Oh, we almost got it at the same time. I'm your host, Camiwins.
And I am your co-host, to camera.
With a new haircut.
Yeah, I went for like the boyish look.
You are less hairier now.
We were on vacation, so that's why we missed a week, and I was in Dallas.
4th of July.
Yeah.
How was your 4th of July?
It was so chill. It was
What'd
like
you
just
do?
what you need. Oh, I just relaxed all day.
Oh, that's nice. That's good. I went camping
Yeah?
to Yosemite, and they didn't really have internet up there, so I was internet-less, and AT&T.
How's that?
Well, AT&T wasn't really working,
Yeah.
so 3G didn't work. So I played board games. I played Monopoly. We played Candyland. I was with my family, my brother and my sisters.
Pretty old school of you.
Yeah, it was really cool to be like disconnected for a while, and usually I'll freak out about stuff like that, but it was nice because I got a face full of it when I came back home.
Exactly.
But we have a lot for this episode for everybody.
Yeah, we have some good topics tonight. We're going to go through some Nope News.
Nope News.
Then we're going to go into DoWant.
DoWant.
And then Cami has a fantastically awesome
I have a pretty
topic.
interesting topic, and it's esports related, so for all of you esport heads that are watching right now.
Yeah,
This is
it's
for you
going to be
guys.
fun. I'm looking forward to it. And sadly, we don't have call-ins just yet, but
No,
there's a
unfortunately
team of gnomes. You saw the interns earlier before us, but there's actually a team of smaller people, gnomes, who
Like
are
this
working on
tiny.
running a cable across the floor so we could plug in. And, or no, they're working on something else. Anyway, we're going to have call-ins next week. They're
Right.
working on a new computer system. It's very advanced.
Right, and if you
That's why it takes
guys,
so many.
if you guys had seen our past episodes, want to chime in about that, or even this episode coming up, you can do that next week.
Yeah.
So we're sorry for not having it this week. But first, Nope News.
Oh, yeah. Okay, cool. Let's go into it.
I want to tell everybody about Transformers coming out, not because I'm a Transformers fan and not because I like Shia or not Megan Fox girl.
I know, she's so not Megan Fox.
No, but she's pretty cute. I think she's a Victoria's Secret model. I mean, if I know my models. And
you do know your models.
I think she's a Victoria's Secret model. I was stuck in traffic on the 405, no, on the 110, and the only time I even paid attention to this advertisement on the radio was because there was a Noisia track, and Noisia is really good DJ. You guys should look it up right now because I did not prepare this video. But they're here. They're in the studio with us. These guys did this song called Machine Gun, which was remixed by
They look like a scary
16-bit.
French posse.
And I have the link on our website if you guys want to check it out on the forums. But it's a pretty sick song, and I'm actually excited that more electronic DJs are coming into the mainstream
I know,
scene,
right?
Like Daft Punk doing Tron.
I love Tron. I watched it on the airplane.
Oh, did you like it?
I watched it like 5 times on the
Daft
airplane.
Punk makes sense. I think it's cool that Skrillex did the Mortal Kombat theme song. Even more so, like, more popular artists like Beyonce picked up Major Lazer. I think Rusko worked on Britney Spears' new album. So it's really cool seeing these, like, quote-unquote underground hardcore DJs or whatever jumping into the mainstream.
Yeah, they're just as good, if not better.
Right, including Transformers, which is like a summer blockbuster for families and stuff. But they have such a dirty, filthy dubstep track, so it's really cool. That's my dope news to start off.
That's totally dope.
It's probably the only reason why I'm watching Transformers.
I know. Well, I mean, that makes music like, it just shows you that music like is still really vibrant. Like I was reading today that like 97% of people who listen to the radio still do it on like with the traditional radio.
Oh.
And I feel like, I don't know that. I know a lot of people that listen to their radio online. So like, I don't know how the stat came about.
Interesting. Do you think they merged it?
No, I think they lied.
Oh.
I think.
Oh, what liars. I guess we can't expect everyone to tell the truth like us, Hogan.
Well, I guess we try. Anyway.
What is your Nope Dip news?
Well, I was reading last week on Reuters, and basically ISPs are like meeting and are going to come up with some sort of method for shutting or slowing down your internet if they catch you like transferring too much pirated stuff or whatever.
So they're actually going to start coming down on the people
Yes,
who are
they're going to send you like
obviously
up to 6 warnings beforehand, which is cool. That's a lot of warnings.
That's
it's
all
like,
right.
hey, stop. Hey, stop. Hey, stop. You know, like fucking 6 times. It's too many.
Yeah, but then you're gonna find your place at that 5 mark and you don't even remember what number you're on.
I know.
And then you but then you're like in trouble. So they're not gonna cap you, they're just gonna slow you down.
They're gonna slow you down
Is that
after
nope
the
or
6th
dope
warning.
for you?
I mean, that's totally nope. I mean,
Right.
look, part of what makes the internet is file sharing, whether you like it or not. Go to any LAN event and
Right.
Anyway, and you go to any LAN event and like that clearly like is what the main purpose is.
It's really hard for us, right, to be for something like this because we don't make money off of these movies being made. So I'm not going to cry about it. But I also think that
we know people that work on these movies.
Right, and I still think that we deserve free content, even if it's like really good high blockbuster.
Well, like our
content.
show, this show is free content. Granted, it's not of the same caliber as like a multi-million-dollar blockbuster
But I think if
film.
a movie or a CD is deserving enough, I will purchase tickets to watch them play at a concert. I will go buy the Blu-ray to have at home. But like, it's really hard for me to justify paying for something that I can get for free that millions of other people do it. So I guess I'm gonna play on their side and say that it's cool that they'll just slow you down because in our last season
they're not going to shut your internet
off.
Right. Yeah.
In the last season we were afraid that they were going to shut us off or cap us for the month, and that would really really fucked up.
So anyway, I think it's totally nope, obviously.
Nope well, I think it's dope that they're only slowing us down, but nope on the whole thing.
Yeah, I guess so. It's nope if your internet's going to get slowed down. Period. But you just need to be like a modern, it's 2011. Like you should be able to
limit yourself.
Find enough free content. Too.
Oh, right, because there's a lot of really good things out there now, like Netflix and Hulu.
Yeah.
And I mean, YouTube's even all right for a couple of things.
You could entertain yourself.
Yes.
But it's not the same as a movie.
And there's always porn. And porn will always be free on the internet.
There is. Anyway, last one.
Last Noped Up news is actually about a good friend of ours. We know him as Sean Plott, a.k.a. Day 9. I personally think he's my favorite StarCraft 2 caster.
Yes.
That's because I've hung out with him.
You know him.
Yeah. So he's like super cool. But he graduated from USC with some really super fancy title that I don't know. But you guys can look it up.
He graduated from Harvey Mudd, I think.
What?
Yeah.
Sean?
Yeah.
No, he just had his graduation at USC.
Oh, really?
Well, I wasn't there, but I saw pictures of it.
He got a graduate degree or something.
Anyways, he's putting together this after-hours gaming league with 8 really big tech companies, and what they did was
pretty amazing, actually.
Right, they had this like internal tournament that happened at all these companies like Amazon, Dropbox, Facebook, Microsoft,
those are all the
Twitter,
teams, by the way.
Yelp, Google, and Zynga. Zynga, for those of you who don't know, is the Facebook gaming.
They made Farmville.
They made
Where's His Friends.
And Frontierville is another one that's about to come out.
They're geniuses.
Well, anyways, so these teams had their own internal tournaments happen at their offices, and these are the finalists or whatever that made it to the final bracket. And what they're playing for is prize money, but for charity. And I have the list of charities here. The Dropbox team, lovingly known as Drop Crafters.
That's pretty good.
Their charity is Meals on Wheels. The Facebook team's charity is Big Brothers Big Sisters. The Google team charity is Child's Play. The Microsoft,
I like them. I donated to them.
Oh, high five. Good job. Microsoft team charity is Amnesty International, and their slogan, so good. Macro hard, micro soft.
I love that one.
It's so fucking sick. Twitter team charity, Room to Read is their charity, and the Yelp team charity is Child's Play also.
Yeah.
So it's kind of cool that Child's Play has 2 people running up. But they play every Wednesday, and they started last week.
Cool.
And they're going
They played a couple matches, right?
Right, and the grand prize is $5,000. So I encourage everyone to check that out. It is not the top GSL or MLG players, but I'm not really invested in that. Yeah, I'm behind it, the concept, and I'm willing to support something like that where it's competitive gaming, but it's not all about the best player, and it's not all about the fancy lights and cameras or the coolest frags, or it's just straight up for like goodwill, and I rarely ever see that in the gaming community in general, let alone the competitive gaming scene.
And the thing about Day 9 is that he's so educational when he's commentating. Like, you learn and you really understand what's going on, and I think it's just fun to watch, period, just for him alone.
Yeah, even if you're not that invested in StarCraft, and
go learn it. You'll learn it while watching it.
You'll learn a thing or two from watching him. He's really funny, too. He's very funny.
Well, that's totally dope.
Totally dope. Mad props to Sean and Day 9 TV. I
think they're in partnership with Justin.tv too.
Probably. I watch him on Blip.
What's their gaming channel?
Oh, Justin TV just released Twitch TV.
Twitch.
Right. So that was the final Noped Up news.
That's pretty dope. All right, so
the DoWants that we have.
Do DoWant.
For those of you guys who don't know what DoWant is when we want something and we tell you about it because we probably want the same things, us being part of the Cyber Nation and all. Hogan's first DoWant.
Okay, well, mine has to do with what happened last week, basically, which was the last launch of the space shuttle program, which was Atlantis, and it's up there right now in space. It was last week. I forget exactly when, but
so it's the last one for a while?
What's that?
It's the last one for a while?
It's the last one ever, period. It's like the last space shuttle launch was last week, and they're up in space right now, hanging out with the International Space Station.
Wait a minute, why is it the last one? Why aren't we
Because the government has retired the space shuttle program.
So, is there other countries that are
still? Yeah, well, Russia still goes up, and the Chinese are going up, and
oh my God.
the Indians are trying, and the
How
Japanese.
How are we behind on space travel?
Europe is going up. I don't know.
Why are we not going in outer space?
It's pretty rooted in like some budget cuts that started a while back. I mean, 2 space shuttles crashed. They crashed pretty horrifically, and it was stuff that should have been prevented. Right. Okay.
And this was under our.
Yeah, these are this is the last American controlled space launch for manned exploration of space. So we're still going into space. We have rockets that go up, but we just don't have a space shuttle replacement yet.
So what's your DoWant?
My DoWant is more space shuttle travel, or more like American.
That's a big DoWant.
I want to show the video really quick too.
Okay, because mine's like a book bag.
I know, but this is DoWant.
You went and wished for a space shuttle.
No, Brian, maybe you could show the video of the space shuttle launch. It's just kind of cool to watch.
I'm excited.
Go for main engine start. T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. All 3 engines up and burning. 2, 1, 0, and liftoff. The final liftoff of Atlantis on the shoulders of the space shuttle. America will continue the dream.
Roger, roll, Atlantis. Houston now controlling the flight of Atlantis. The space shuttle spreads its wings one final time for the start of a sentimental journey into history.
We have all these sci-fi movies and everything, and they make it look so epic. And
I know,
that's
right?
kind of like what I thought space shuttles looked like in like 1992.
Well,
which isn't even that long ago.
That design's from the late 70s, so it's about as old as me.
Are we behind on this shit?
I think it takes a lot. It takes a lot to get this far. So we have other stuff. There's like private ventures that are going on, but I want it already, and I can't wait till it happens. Anyway, good. Let's do yours.
Well, I also agree. It would be nice to have more.
No, you weren't aware of that, so.
I wasn't aware that we like have given up on space travel.
Yeah, that video, by the way, was from
sad.
The YouTube NASA Kennedy's profile.
Oh right, I didn't know that NASA had a.
Yeah, not only that,
YouTube.
it's the Kennedy Space Center, which is where they launch from.
That's good. That's cool. Y'all should check it out and subscribe. Tell them EPIXENTER sent you.
Right.
Can you imagine if we could get a sign in the? Okay. My DoWant, which is not as cool as a space shuttle.
Whatever, it's cool.
Well, so I want a new bag for my laptop because the one I have is not really a laptop bag. But this place called Booqbag, I don't know how you properly spell it.
I think it's just book. It's just a different way to spell book.
It could be book. It's BOOQ-bag.com.
How cute that thing is.
This is the one I'm looking at. It's called the Squeeze Boa. And that fits the 15-inch. And I like having all these pockets and shit because I work freelance, so.
You need some crazy compartments.
Yeah, I need to bring a lot of things like my laptop charger, my mouse, my headphones.
Where do we get that laptop, by the way?
Which one?
That one with the dope redness inside.
Dude, right? I was wondering if that was just me or if they these custom MacBooks. I need to figure out how to customize them because all I have is like a little sticker.
Yeah.
But that's my DoWant
as
dope.
Well I love it.
As a new iPhone case.
Yeah.
Because I don't have a case on mine right now.
And you use both.
And this is the one that I want from Spec Products.
Oh yeah, Spec. That's
I think that's who makes your case. I wanted to order it, but then I thought, like, what if I ordered a bunch and then like gave them away on the show and stuff for people who like are down for the iPhone case? You know,
I'm trying to turn my auto lock off so we can get the thing. There we go.
Oh, cool. Anyways, that's my DoWant. So
I think that's good. That's like a good birthday present. Or something
it's not
like
as cool as like as a space shuttle.
Whatever.
But that was my DoWant.
My next one is kind of like yours too. It's like Rants posted on my Facebook page.
AKA DJ Ron.
I think he just goes by Rants now.
Oh, is it done?
Yeah,
is he done?
Maybe his aim still says that, but.
Who uses AIM? I don't use AIM. I use
I don't know, people are-
chat and Skype
Yeah,
now.
people are always like, "Are you on chat?" I'm like, "No, it's annoying. I'm on
don't
my
know
iPhone.
anyone on
What else
AIM.
do I need besides my iPhone?"
Well, not everyone has my phone number. But anyways, your
No, I don't need chat.
DoWant that Rance posted.
Oh, well, it's this like SLR mount for your iPhone. It's kind of big and bulky, but it lets
That's
you like
hilarious
take
looking.
super dope photos with the iPhone, which I think is kind of interesting. Rance is like, "This is the end, brother," you know. And I'm like, well, ergonomically, that looks like a pain in the ass. Like, you got to hold your phone like this and then hold this big-ass lens. That's probably the setup that I would use, is like a 50mm lens setup. Make it light. And it takes pretty cool pictures.
I guess.
It's just,
Oh, that's
yeah,
kind of nice.
That's kind of nice. And then they also have this filming device that helps you film better. It has like little handholds, and you can attach a tripod to it. That's it right there, the Owly. And that's what it like looks
Oh,
like
wow,
when
that's
it's in
pretty
use.
nice.
It's pretty good. And there was a video of a previous model that I
And
had.
this is
but
something that you would use.
this is totally something that I do want. Like the 35mm DSLR mount adapter thing is not out yet. That comes out in August. And
Are you telling me to get you something for your
no,
birthday?
not at all.
I'm
Not at all.
kidding.
Not at all. I'm just telling
joking.
people when it comes out. But the filming one that is look like the little Owly guy, that is out already. And I think it's 169. What did I say?
Just
169 for the iPhone 4 one.
Side question.
Yeah.
What do you think about all the people being like photographers now that they have iPhones and their
Well-
own cameras? Like, do you think that there's just been like a rapid slew of?
No, I think it's just inevitable. I think if people had the ability to like paint, they would all do it. But there's always a benefit to having quickness and artisticness combined. Like, you can use a cool iPhone app, right? That like Instagram or Hipstamatic or whatever.
I have
And-
Instagram.
Yeah, Instagram. I see a lot of people use that. And you can take like neat photos, but I think what's fun is to use your imagination to envision something that you see, and then like kind of know how it will come out with that application, with the setup and stuff.
Oh, that's
And it
really
just kind of
good.
speeds up the process
Artistic
of
way to think
what
about it.
you could do if you were doing it with film back in the day. You know, I grew up on film, so I know what it's like to shoot 35mm film and develop the stuff myself and spend 10 hours on one photo. Fuck.
And how long ago was this?
This is in high school and middle school and college.
Interesting.
So I studied a while, and that's
So
why I
you're
got
okay
into.
with it. You're okay with the technological.
I should be
advances.
against it, but I like you were saying,
Ah.
like I kind of see a.
I like that you said you
version.
should be against it because that's how you should feel, but like you can't really
No.
go against.
I think I just see like where things are going of it, you know.
Right. That's a good way to look at it.
But I
was,
still
like,
prefer.
expecting you to hate on it.
No, I still prefer to shoot with my DSLR camera, which is a Nikon D5000. So
I
I
might
love
have to
shooting
Google
with that. Anyway, let's go on to our main topic because
Main
this is a
topic.
wonderful main topic.
It is, and only because it kind of hits home
Yeah.
for both Hogan and I. But just a quick backstory: Kotaku. I don't even know how you really
I think
say
we
it.
said Kotaku.
I said Kotaku. They put up an article and I made a funny picture because I was bored at work. There's a lady named Jen Schiller who wrote at Kotaku about an interview that was done for Alienware with a guy named David Trakey. I don't know how to say his last name. He goes by Zacubus.
Yeah.
And the interview was titled "Pro Gamers Staying Alive, Chasing the Dream Like the Rest of Us." And in short, the interview was about how far pro gaming has gotten, but it's still not at a place where people are making as much as I think they expect to. And it's almost a very like depressing article in a sense if you're just like opening into the
Sure.
concept of pro gaming.
It's not
so-
very positive.
No,
she
it's very
sounds
real.
depressed when she's writing this.
Oh, because she just read this interview.
Yeah, like
and-
someone made her
and-
watch pro gaming. She was like,
Right,
"Oh."
exactly. So she writes this article, and she basically breaks down the interview and then kind of gives her opinions in the article about the interview, and it sounds almost a little ignorant. And one of the quotes one of the things that she says, which I quote,
Yeah.
"Don't get me wrong, I love watching people who are better than me at video games play them for money, especially when I don't know those people." Oh wait, no, I don't. And
Seriously, like,
I guess for
It's so stabby in the backy.
right. It's what is it called? A backhanded compliment.
Yes.
And it was immediately.
Like a French compliment.
It was immediately. It's funny because you lived in France.
I know.
She was immediately backlashed by the esports community.
Oh,
And
for sure.
I mean, like, if she is a Kotaku writer and she's writing to gamers, she should know a thing or two about, like, being flamed or whatever. But I guess it's, like, her first time writing something, like, subjective.
Yeah.
Because she was, overwhelmed with the feedback she was getting because some of them were, of course, really rabid and inappropriate and just straight up, like, blasting her. And it's funny because when I showed you this article, the first thing that you said was, what did you call her?
I felt like
what a stupid bitch. You know,
I was upset because I felt like if you're a real gamer, like this always comes up, but I feel like people who really know gaming would appreciate esports and
right. And we talked about this. We talked about how if you're not, what did we say? If you're not really into the competitive scene of gaming, then you're actually just in what we deem to be the casual scene, because there used to be a lot of talk between the hardcore gamer and the casual gamer, and I'm classifying people who just play games for the sake of achievements or collecting these games.
It's pretty weird.
You know, the next shooter that comes out, they'll play and beat their friends and then move on to the next thing. Like, I think that's more of like a casual, almost bandwagon-y type gamer, because there's no real depth to the scene. You play the game, you beat the game, you review the game. That's like the end of most gamers' lifetimes. But there are these people who live and breathe this on a regular basis, aside from just like for entertainment. And I think those are the people who retaliated against this Kotaku writer. And she ends up writing a follow-up and gets an editorial director by the name of Joel Johnson from Kotaku to.
Johnson.
he basically comes in trying to like calm the readers and say, look,
pouring water on the fire.
Right, you're like, look, I'm also a fan of competitive gaming, and I also wish that a game that I'm interested in is revered in the same concept. But if he says something like, if we ended up getting a community riled up and giving their opinions on the internet, then we like won. So I guess he's kind of like okay with the fact that she dissed these people, but in my personal opinion, I think she went the total wrong way about it. She had no idea what she was saying, but I'm not saying that she's wrong, because she does point out that the reason why she's not into it is because there has been a lot of television attention that's actually something like I wouldn't even watch that, and I play video games. We talked about the Ultimate Gamer being one really cheesy thing.
Well, I agree. And like, what else? Where else did we worked at CGS together?
We worked at CGS,
which was one of the things that she talks about in the article about how like TV and big corporations are kind of making it cheesy, which they kind of are. They're like trivializing what it really is to be a gamer. And when you're a professional, like they train many hours a day.
Yeah, that's no joke for some people. And I think that one of the really unfortunate things of working at CGS, other than it was like our dream job.
It was pretty dope.
Which we lost.
Yeah.
I want to point out that we both were professionally employed in the professional gaming scene. Yeah. Like that was where our income came from. That's where we were Monday through Friday, and we like loved it.
That's where I got my start in being a broadcaster.
That's where I got my start as well. So it's like, it's really sad to see that there are still some people who aren't going to believe that it's going anywhere, especially when such huge events have taken place. For example, DreamHack, MLG, Columbus, the GSL happens all the time in Korea, and there's like WCG, there's ESL, there's so many tournaments going on that it's hard to say something like this lady did about casually mentioning that it's like it's obviously not working because I'm not interested in it.
Right.
Is what she's saying in this article. So I can understand where everybody got mad at her, but I'm glad she apologized for it.
Well, sure, that's nice and all, but she still meant what she said the first time around.
She still stood by it,
if she was someone who maybe took the time to watch a couple of Day 9's broadcasts or a couple of Tasteless and Artosis talking about games. By the way, I'm wearing their shirt.
This is old school though, because it came from what year?
This was from BlizzCon of either 07 or 08. It was old. It was when they first started the company. I can't remember exactly when that was.
Yeah, but
And they're
Matt
like, here,
Chatz, handsomernerd.com, do it.
But no, if you watch someone professional, or like DJ Wheat, right? Someone who is very smart and can like educate you about the game that you're watching while you're watching. You watch a couple episodes, like you really will start to appreciate what's going on.
And you know, a lot of people mentioned to her, and this was she lists on this article all the comments that she got that she thought was legitimate. One of the people mentioned that there are programs out there that you won't find on TV because they don't have that support that Ultimate A Gamer had, and it's those types of shows that we in the pro gaming community find to be interesting.
Yeah.
We don't like the cheesy stuff. We agree with her in a sense that
she's not totally like wrong.
She's
article.
right about something that we don't consider to be pro gaming. She's thinking that just because people are like yelling in front of a screen with a controller, that's supposed to like draw out this drama that makes it intense. And all she's seeing is somebody yelling at the screen. But we're more focused on the gameplay.
Yeah.
So there are things out there that like over glorify it, in a sense. But that's not what I'm interested in. And I mean, like obviously we pointed out J9's After Hours Gaming League. I find that interesting, and there's no like heavy hitters. These are just people who work at really, cool tech companies that just wanted to play for charity.
And one of her arguments is that it's with the guy that she interviews or whatever, is that it only pays $30,000 or so annually if you're not sponsored, right? And to me, being once you're sponsored, you're at a professional level. So until then, you're an amateur. And if you're making $30,000 as an amateur, that's not terrible.
No.
Unless it's your only job and you're trying to become a professional. But if you're at that point, like 30,000, that's like minor leagues.
And I'm wondering if wondering if it's because everyone expects them to be like making more, right? And it's because of, for example, in CGS, they glorified them to be like athletes.
Right, the team wins $1 million or something.
Yeah, right. There's something crazy like that. And I don't think that's where the scene should actually be going. It's not, I don't think it's about like a large amount of prize money or all the fancy lights. I like following the backstory of these players, and these are the kind of things that you won't really know if you're just walking into the scene. And the image that I had, it said Kotaku hates esports, but I really don't care. Like, I always say this to a lot of my esports friends or competitive game people in the fighting game scene actually ask me a lot because they're fairly new, even though they've been around for like ever. One of the things that I like to say is that, I lost my train of thought.
I'm waiting.
Because I saw the time.
What's the time?
Where was I? Competitive gaming.
What happened?
I don't remember what I was talking about.
I don't want to like say something and mess you up.
No, say something and it'll come back to me. Just go.
Well, I mean, I was just coming from the freaking base salary thing in minor leagues and major leagues. And you went into a tangent from there.
I just had a brain fart like on television, on the internet.
But the point is like, with this article, she's not totally wrong, but she's not entirely right either. And I'm glad that people lash back at her. So.
Well, I mean, it's straight up like showing the power.
It goes against like what
of the internet.
Yeah, that too, and it goes against what I like believe in as a gamer, is that like professional gaming is extremely important.
I mean, it's the future of sports, I think. I mean, you have poker coming up, right? And like poker has gone a long way from just people fairly into it or just trying it out to actual people like making millions of dollars on it. Including Starcraft players, which is really funny.
I think it's different. It's different from sports. It's like sports, but it's not sports. It's different. It's something more intellectual.
And you know what's funny? We talked about this before on one of our episodes. I
know.
And
it's a common
topic. We were having
topic.
an argument about whether or not a team of highly trained monkeys have been dispatched.
YouTube
is broken.
We didn't do it.
No, but somebody was saying that we were saying that gaming is a competitive sport.
Yeah.
And that we think it's okay, and I think Brian was saying something about it not being competitive because you can't make a video game out of it or something like that.
Sure.
And this guy, commented on YouTube saying how he believes whatever a good competitive sport is when two people are on a balanced playing field and they can outwit each other and
That's a good. That's a good way to say it.
With like intelligence, smart, and skills and talent.
And strategy,
and stuff.
yeah, sure.
Right.
That okay. With that argument, I would agree.
Right. So, with the Kotaku topic,
Yeah.
the reason why I don't really know, now I remember.
Thank God.
Jesus, that was so crazy long. So I always tell the people that they want to try to make it interesting to the people who are like casual, to the moms who are like sitting in the back of the room, or like the
who
high
might be
school
dumb.
kid, right? Who might not really
Might be
understand
stupid, actually
what
stupid.
gaming is, and the reason why I came up with that image that says, "But I really don't care," is I don't believe that competitive gaming should be catering to those people. I think competitive gaming should be catering to people who like competitive gaming. I mean, Miss Jen Schiller, I understand that you don't find it interesting to watch other people play at a very high skill level because you probably, don't understand it. That's fine. I actually wouldn't want you to watch it then. Not trying to say you don't deserve it, but if you're not interested to it, then you can fuck off.
But I think what she's saying
really
about
cares.
cheesy is that she also acknowledges that it's kind of dumbed down. And made, like, they assume that the audience is stupid, but I don't think the audience is stupid. I think you should keep it at a high level, and that will attract more and more people.
And I don't know. I don't agree with that, because I don't want it to attract more people that wouldn't be interested in the first place, right? Like, you don't see.
I think, but when you have allure plus a sense of learning, like you're gaining knowledge from something that you enjoy, that is a way to attract someone to like a entertainment.
Well, let's think of it. Well, let's compare it to sports, right? Like when
I don't like this sports comparison because it's the only comparison that people make. I want to say it's something different, like how Facebook is a different type of internet. Okay. It's like it's something that is there. Like yes, it's similar to sports. Like there's definitely sports elements in the whole like playing field thing and balance and using your wit and your intelligence and your strategy to kind of like outmaster someone.
Then what would you compare it to?
Nothing. It's something different.
Right.
It's new. It's its own thing.
But when you're trying to have people to come into the scene, right, and they have to. They can understand that there's a competition going on, but in order to further learn what's going on and how to actually draw from the experience of watching, they have to play the game. And I'm going to use sports as a comparison.
But I didn't play a lot of these games that I liked watching.
You don't have to because you play video games.
Sure.
Right.
I play some of them.
Right. What she's saying is because she's watching.
Maybe she doesn't play any games that are used competitively.
You know what's funny is everyone
which
says
is weak sauce. That makes her like super lame.
Right, because she doesn't play the video games that we think is cool. But I don't want to think like that. Right. Like,
all right.
I'm not going to lower myself down to their ignorant level and say like, well, they're just stupid, because like that's not the case. It's not interesting for her, which is fine. I don't need her to be interested in it. She can give her opinion because I don't go to Kotaku for my news. I go to Team Liquid for my news.
You're not trying to win converts. You want people to want to like.
Right. I want people who are interested in esports to learn about other sport, to learn about other games and other genres. Yeah. Like I wouldn't want to dumb it down for anybody. If I had my own esports show, I would cover all games that I think's interesting, even the games that I don't believe are like like beer pong is a fucking sport now.
I know, right?
Like anything can be a sport. And if you're not interested in it, then you're not interested in it. But I don't care if this girl likes it or not, and I guess that's what my like conclusion was. It's not about the casual person that's sitting in the room on the couch who doesn't understand the game. That's not the person that you're selling to.
No.
I think you're supposed to be selling to the person who actually tuned in at that time or understands the matchup.
Weren't you just part of, or you were just telling me about a stream that got how many viewers live?
Oh, I just watched this stream at DreamHack for League of Legends.
Yeah.
It's really funny because they got like 200,000. I don't remember the exact number at the end of the weekend, but they had an absurdly large amount of viewers at the time watching the stream, and the production value wasn't as great as the ones that we've worked on. The ones where they've spent millions of dollars putting on a show, this glamorous show, and I'm talking about CGS, and it didn't get the kind of attention that they thought they would get. And
that was the game's fault. That was the cheesiness fault.
Yeah, the cheesiness. The games weren't very interesting to watch.
No.
The stories between the players were built.
They weren't the right
They
games.
were they were made up stories. You know, there wasn't real like history in them. But you know, I guess with complexity and 3D there was a little bit. But like that's Counter-Strike, right? You're putting old history in with new history. The people who watch Counter-Strike don't even watch Source. I mean, sorry to say, they all watch 1.6. So for them, it's like they're downgrading to play this with a bunch of like console games, and it's just the whole thing was a mess. But League of Legends just was as simple as they were. They just streamed the broadcast, and because there's a lot of people who are interested in the game, there's a lot of people watching. So I guess to conclude, what I'm saying is you don't need the fancy lights or the cheesy storylines
you don't.
to get a bunch of viewers.
But I think if we could marry the good games with the good production, that would be even greater. Like what you see, what happens in Korea.
Right.
But even then, there's some
things about this that just like make me cringe. But that's, I guess, because it's Korean television.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things going on now, especially like in the fighting game scene. They've developed their own kind of way of streaming things. And I mean, I've helped with a bunch of tournaments before, and I've seen it go from like one guy's little shitty laptop to like a whole production setup, and like they've come so far because they're really that hungry, and it's exciting to see the growth of competitive gaming. And I feel sorry for this Kotaku writer who doesn't really understand that there's that in depth of beauty, I guess, in it. It's a love-hate relationship.
Sure.
You know, and
I think there's even an
experienced
artistic sense to it, where like if you were to look at a painting and not understand, you'd be like, oh, it sucks. It's a bunch of lines, or you know, some landscape. But once you understand and like delve into what it actually is, you'll definitely appreciate it more.
Right. And
that's how gaming can be too.
She apologized for it, so I guess that's all right. And I mean, to be fair, the interview was actually kind of depressing. She shouldn't have posted it on Kotaku. She should have like posted it on a personal blog.
That should have been a private note in her phone.
It's
or a Twitter posting.
An idea that she had that she just didn't post because it was just. It wasn't even really thought out. I mean, she doesn't really give her points in the article, and you guys can totally check it out if you want.
It's a short article, but
right. It's just really funny that they superseded. Is that the word I'm looking for? They ended up just apologizing for.
They retracted.
They retracted their statement. And they apologized, and instead of saying like what they found out about it, they just like quoted people's tweets or like messages.
Right.
And yeah, I mean, originally I was mad when I read it, but like I thought it through and I was like, you know what, she's right. There has been a lot of crap out there. So unless like esports steps it up, and I hate calling it esports now. I can't even call it pro gaming either.
Whatever.
I just call it competitive gaming.
Competitive gaming is fine.
It's long though.
It'd be nice. I don't know.
I really wish we could get.
We just need to get out of this recession and get some money flowing again, where we can actually have.
We just need to strike it rich and create our own.
Where DreamHack can fly me out to Sweden every time for real.
We could fly to DreamHack.
Yeah.
DreamHack winter. What are you doing? We should just go.
I know, it's Thanksgiving. It's a great time to go. Everyone should go to Sweden.
Do you do anything for Thanksgiving?
I mean, I may do family stuff, but my grandmother's passed away, so like our large family is kind of like doesn't have the same nucleus anymore. And
oh, the nucleus.
The nucleus.
Oh, that's what she was.
She was a matriarch.
So does that mean you can go to DreamHack with me?
I went last year.
Well, we should go.
To winter, yeah, with Day9, no doubt, helping him do his production, which, by the way, I started working with Rance, and I remember two things, okay? Rance and I did a production for him last summer, okay? And the way we made it look so much better than an MLG production that was like a month or a couple weeks later that he did. And then, similarly, at the DreamHack thing, the way I made Sean and his co-host look, it looks so much better than what the DreamHack people did. And, you know, all the views were Day9. I just wanted to make him look and sound good. You know what I mean?
Well, you know what? It's interesting is because you and I come from a real production background.
Yeah.
We work with people who are television people.
Yeah.
And so it's funny that we get to work with the same kind of equipment on the internet side, but yet make it look better than TV.
Yeah, just like the stuff you see here at the stream. Like, this is made better because Brian is really smart and has worked on productions.
Right. I mean, our show looks pretty good for being an internet show,
Yeah.
but like, I think this is the new standard now. I think you could do way more things on the internet. And you know what's funny? To end this conversation, I was driving on the freeway, and I was this TV truck was next to me,
Yeah.
and it had a ladder and had a satellite thing, and I was like, dude, I could do that on my phone. I could live stream on my phone, and you have to drive your live stream product. That's so funny that we're getting there.
Yeah, and it costs
But
like $1
yet
million.
we can't go to outer space.
Well, we're getting there. We're getting there. Private companies are going to take us back.
Oh, I hope so. I don't want to hear that the reason why America has fallen is because we're the only ones still on Earth and everyone's in outer space.
Yeah, that'll be a long ways from now, but it could happen.
Anyways.
Thanks for watching, you guys.
Thanks for watching another episode.
Next week, we will have call-ins,
Yes.
I'm told. The little gnomes are running around. I've been watching them all night.
They're working pretty hard.
They are working really hard.
So hopefully by next week you guys can call in and chat.
Yeah, because we have a homework assignment for you.
Oh, yes.
There's a movie that we love that kind of like, I don't know, ties into a lot of what we think and stuff. It's
Right.
called Idiocracy.
You guys have to watch it.
We want to know. We want to discuss like we want to know like a question or comment you have from this show next week.
Right, because it's funny because in
the movie, I mean.
Conversation, we always bring it up and we're like, oh my God, it's like Idiocracy. But
I know, right?
But like, it's
has
just us two,
electrolytes.
so we want to share that with you. So
You're
go
smart.
watch it. Was that just Brian?
I'm sure a lot of people have seen it.
You're smart.
It's Brian.
Yeah.
It's from the movie. You're smart.
Oh, I didn't know what he was saying.
Oh
It
yeah, the
comes
way
off.
he says it, yes. But yes, our forums, we want to discuss, if you want to talk about anything we talked about on the show.
Sign up to the forums. You can keep talking about it. It's epiccenter.tv/forum. And if you have Netflix, order it on Netflix. Otherwise, torn it. It's really good. That was it. That was episode number 203. Thank you for watching. I am your host, camiwins.
And I am 2Camera.
And this was Epic Center on the stream.tv.
Yeah, check us out.
See you next week, Monday at 10 p.m.
All right.
Bye.